Welcome back to Noir Alley. I'm your long-haul trucker, Eddie Muller, and today we're climbing in a big rig, grinding the gears, and making a run to San Francisco, the setting for one of my favorite films, Thieves Highway, released by 20th Century Fox in 1949. Whenever somebody asks, what got you interested in noir, I cite this as the movie that put the hook in. I was still in my early teens, faking a cold so I could stay home from school, when Thieves Highway turned up one afternoon on Dialing for Dollars. I was fascinated by its depiction of my hometown, a San Francisco that no longer existed, specifically the bustling produce district wedged between the financial district and the waterfront. That's where most of the story plays out over the course of a single night, following a tense drive up Route 99 from California's Central Valley. And it was in that valley, the city of Fresno to be precise, where the writer of Thieves Highway grew up. Alfred Isaac Buzz Bazarides was a Greek-Armenian born in Turkey who emigrated to California with his family when he was 2 years old. Although he'd studied engineering at the University of California, Buzz became a writer after being inspired by the wave of working-class literature that flourished in America in the 1930s. Thieves' Market, the novel on which this film is based, is his most personal work, an embittered depiction of greed, avarice, and exploitation, leavened only slightly by the author's innate decency and compassion. Its power comes from Bazarides' own experience, first as a boy working in his father's trucking business, then as a fledgling in Hollywood, who, in his estimation, was routinely fleeced by producers and studio executives. To Bazarides, America was one vast marketplace, run by hustlers, chiselers, and thieves. And no one who met Buzz waited very long to hear how Hollywood had screwed him. He told a well-honed tale of producer Mark Hellinger lowballing him on his first book, The Long Haul, after a script, retitled They Drive by Night, had been written and the film was already in production. This put the first chip on Buzz's shoulder, and it would grow exponentially over the rest of his life. He carried that weight proudly and defiantly. Nick Garkos, the protagonist of Thieves Highway, is clearly a stand-in for the author, and the moral and ethical dilemmas Nick faces are the same ones Bazarides faced during his writing career. Do you try to get even with the exploiteers and mercenaries? Do you walk away with your integrity intact? Or do you give in and take 2 bits a box, whether they're buying your talent or a bushel of blood-stained apples? Buzz took Hollywood's money, churning out dozens of for-hire scripts compared to only 3 novels. Now, this left a lot of guilt in a guy who rhapsodized about how, as a boy, his life was changed by reading Thomas Hardy's Tess of the D'Urbervilles. Buzz once told me that Hardy created an entire world out of words, a place you could escape into. That's what I wanted to do with my life. And although Buzz wrote some sensational screenplays, Juke Girl, On Dangerous Ground, Track of the Cat, and Kiss Me Deadly, much of his time in Hollywood was spent adapting other writers' stories. The results were often flawed and impersonal, things like Desert Fury, Holiday for Sinners, and A Bullet for Joey. Even his most famous credit, Kiss Me Deadly, was fueled more by disdain for the Mickey Spillane source novel than by any great inspiration. So Thieves Highway stands as a rarity. Buzz was allowed to do the screen adaptation of his own novel. Buzz Bazarides was a compassionate contrarian, a true believer in the value of honesty, virtue, and artistic integrity. Hollywood was good to him, and it spoiled him. Thieves Highway is essentially his testimony. The story of Nick Garkos is also the story of his creator, and it's the best one Buzz ever told. Directed by Jules Dassin, largely on location in San Francisco, the picture stars Richard Conte, Valentina Cortesa, Lee J. Cobb, and Barbara Lawrence, supported by a magnificent supporting cast. Millard Mitchell, Morris Karnofsky, Joe Pevney, Jack Oakey, Hope Emerson, Edwin Max, and many more. For me, This is the noir that started it all. So gas up and let's get this show on the road. We're headed down Thieves Highway.